This is John Clute, your moderator from Atlanta, Georgia, and we're going to get started in about 10 minutes. About 10 Copy.
Excuse me, this is the Verizon operator. I will begin the recordings now.
Thank you very much. So we are going to go ahead and start recording this. ARIS is a group of amateur radio and ham volunteers from many nations around the world that have developed and operate the amateur radio station on the International Space Station. Some of the members of the ARIS team are the American Radio Relay League, the Worldwide AMSAT, Radio Amateur Satellite Corporation. These are basically amateur radio operators who build and launch satellites into orbit that we can talk over. We're also joined by a number of the international space agencies. Of course, there's NASA, the Canadian Space Agency, the European Space Agency, the Japanese Space Agency, and Roscosmos, the Russian Space Agency. Through the help of amateur radio volunteers and the crew of the ISS, who are also volunteers, we hope to soon establish a radio contact with the International Space Station as it flies more than, as you've heard, 200 miles above the Earth over Maryland. This contact will be performed using the Amateur Radio Telebridge Network, a worldwide network of amateur radio ground stations that are connected together with the telephone network. This helps enable students to contact the ISS from anywhere in the world. Courtesy of the American Radio Relay League, we have a short video which explains the role of amateur radio in what is about to happen. Jen, you want to go ahead and roll the ARRL video, please?
Yes, you got it.
Do we have the video running?
Yes, it is running.
Thank you.
The audio, the video doesn't go into the mixer.
If you could let me know when the video ends, that would be helpful.
Of course, yes. Okay, the video is finished.
All right, very good. That's a very interesting video. This is Don Clute again, and I think it does a good job of explaining what's about to happen. The amateur radio ground station that will establish the contact with the ISS today is the ARIS Amateur Radio Ground Station K6DUE, located on the campus of the NASA Goddard Space Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. This is operated by the members of the K6DUE team, and today Dave Taylor, W8AAS, will be helping us out. We have about 4 minutes to go until contact time. Our contact today is with astronaut Colonel Andrew Drew Morgan, KI5AAA, who will be using the ISS call sign NA1SS. The ham radio contact coordinator for this event is Bob Kepke, AA6TB. So there's a lot going on. As you heard, the ISS is flying 200 miles up at 17,500 miles per hour. It's currently over the Pacific Ocean and moving right along. The ground station will pick it up, and one of the things that you may hear before we actually establish the contact is a hissing sound. That's the normal background noise that comes along with an FM radio transmission. It can be a little bit loud, but ultimately we will hear the astronaut come on into things. What we might want to do, Dave, if you could come on and describe the K6DUE station to us a little bit and let us know how you'll handle the conversation.
Okay, thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. This is Dave. Our call sign is W8AAS. Our radio station is in a small room on the top of a 3-story building, and we have our antennas right next to it. The radios are set up and connected to the phone line so that when you talk on the microphone there, it comes over here to the radio and up to the space station, and anything that the astronaut says comes through the radio and you will hear on your speakers. We have antennas outside that turn so they can follow the space station as it moves across the sky. And right now we're just waiting. Got a couple of minutes until we want to start calling. So John mentioned that you would hear a hissing sound. This is what it's going to sound like when nobody is talking on the radio, when we're just waiting and listening for the space station. And then it will get quiet when the astronaut starts talking. So back to you, John, and then we'll start calling on your command.
Very good. Thank you, Dave. Well, I know you've been working on this a long time. We are dealing with space. We need to remember that everything we do is an experiment. And like all experiments, so we never quite know how they're going to turn out. We've done this over 1,000 times, and so we're fairly confident that this will turn out well. But being space, you never quite know what's going to happen. Positive or negative, it's still a grand adventure, and I think you're really going to enjoy this discussion with astronaut Colonel Morgan. It's very important that students asking the questions, please use your big voice, your outdoor voice, as we practiced. For those of you who weren't in the room, we did do a practice session prior just a little bit about half an hour ago to make sure that we had enough volume to drive the radios properly, because this is, after all, an amateur radio contact. At the end of the day, it is amateur radio that's being used to contact the astronaut in the ISS. it's very important that students asking the questions that you may remember to say over. That is the signal to Dave Taylor to go from transmit to receive, to switch the radio back and forth. So having said those things, it looks like we are about a minute and a half from what we call acquisition of signal, the first time we hear the signal. At the end of this 10-minute interval, and that's how long it takes at 17,500 miles an hour to go from one horizon to the other horizon, there may be time to say thank you. Depending how it goes, the ISS may actually just disappear over the horizon, in which case you'll just hear the hissing sound again. So Dave, by my clock, it is 15:49 UTC, Universal Coordinated Time, so I'm going to turn it over to you so you can begin making your call.
Okay, thank you, John. You should be coming over the horizon very shortly, so we will start calling. NA1SS. NA1SS. This is K6DUE calling. Over. NA1SS. NA1SS. K6DUE calling for scheduled contact. Over.
Kilo 6, Delta Uniform Echo. This is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. I've got you loud and clear.
Okay, Drew, you are very loud and clear here also. So I'll turn you over to the school and let them begin their questions.
Golden Little Montessori, welcome aboard the International Space Station.
Hello, Colonel Drew. We're talking to Golden Oak Montessori School located in San Francisco's East Bay. We are students in grades 1 to 8, and we have questions for you, starting with me. Hi, I'm Alejandra, and I'm in 2nd grade. Who chooses who gets to be in the International Space Station? Over.
Okay, repeat the question, please.
Who chooses who gets to be in the International Space Station? Over.
Well, the International Space Station represents a number of different space agencies, and each space agency chooses their astronauts from sometimes hundreds or even thousands of candidates. Then once you become an astronaut, then the lead astronauts come together in a meeting to decide who will be assigned to what specific mission.
Hi, I am Jade, and I am in 3rd grade. What qualifications are needed to become an astronaut, like going to a special school or experience fast flying planes? Over.
Well, to become an astronaut, there are a variety of different pathways. You can be a scientist, an engineer, you could be a military pilot, or a pilot in general, or you could be a medical doctor. The pathway that I took was as a medical doctor. I was a medical doctor in the Army at the time that I was selected as an astronaut. So there's no one single way to become an astronaut, a variety of different ways. Certainly studying science and engineering are the most critical, and that's the common pathway. The one thing that all astronauts have in common is that we do all study science and engineering when we're in college.
Hi, I'm Trenton, and I'm in 5th grade. Since you have many people from different countries on the ISS, what language do you speak to communicate with one another? Over.
Well, it is true the International Space Station represents 15 different partner nations, and there are the primary partners that have space agencies participating in the International Space Station that have astronauts on board are of course, NASA, the Russian Space Agency, the Canadian Space Agency, the Japanese Space Agency, and the European Space Agency. But regardless of what your language of origin is, everybody learns to speak Russian
space station at one time? And do you ever feel crowded? Over.
The usual crew on board the International Space Station is 6 crew members. We have 6 currently on board. Not too long ago, late September, early October, we had 9 crew on board, which is a little unusual, but it does happen occasionally. And at that time, it was very exciting. We said it was like having family over for the holidays. It was a little more crowded, had to sometimes wait in line for your turn to go to the bathroom or to do your exercise on the exercise machines, but it was a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Sophie and I'm in 8th grade. What is the daily routine for an astronaut on the ISS? Over.
Well, you'd be surprised that it is actually not that much different than a routine on Earth. We go to bed at night and then wake up the next morning after trying to get around 8 hours of sleep. We have breakfast. Then we get started on our work day about 7:30 our time. And then we'll work for a couple hours, take a break, then work a couple more hours, and then we have in the evening with mission control. And then we have dinner together. We go get ready for bed, brush our teeth, use the bathroom, go to bed, and start all over again. So our days are fairly routine. But during the day, we're doing a lot of exciting work, like running experiments, doing maintenance on the space station. So a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Elijah and I'm in 3rd grade. What does Earth look like from outer space? Over.
It looks beautiful. I'm sure you've seen pictures, or maybe you've seen movies at a science museum, or anywhere that you've seen pictures of what the Earth looks like from space. Well, those pictures are incredible, but imagine if that picture was completely surrounding you. One of the things that I first noticed when I got up here was how brilliant the sun was. I never thought about being in space and the sun coming in through the window, just like it comes through the window in your house. And it comes through the windows here on the space station just the same. Feels warm on our face, just like I'm back on Earth.
Hello, my name is Elvis and I'm in 6th grade. And my question is, has the ISS ever broken down, and what do you do if that happens? Over.
Well, the International Space Station is a magnificent marvel of engineering that was built over several years. It's been in space now, continuously occupied with humans for nearly 20 years. So as you can imagine, any equipment that old that has been flying at 17,500 miles an hour in orbit around the Earth for 2 decades, things do break occasionally. Recently, we had to replace some batteries with new batteries outside the space station with a series of spacewalks, and one of the components on that particular power channel failed, and we had to replace an entire box. This box was about the size of half of a refrigerator, but as you can imagine, it doesn't weigh anything in space. We changed that box out and we restored power to the International Space Station. That spacewalk was undertaken by my 2 crewmates, Christina Cook and Jessica Meir, and they performed the first time 2 women had gone outside and done a spacewalk together, and they successfully restored power to the International Space Station on that particular power channel.
Hi, I'm Leo and I'm in 3rd grade. Can you grow plants in space and do they grow normally? Over.
A very timely question. We are right now growing a type of lettuce called Mizuna on board the space station, and later this week, if you watch in social media, you'll see us harvest that and actually get to eat it. And I would say that they do actually grow normally. It looks like a plant like you would recognize lettuce. We are doing experiments to see what the effects are of gravity, or what the effects of different fertilizers and different light, because of course we have to use artificial light in order to give them the same sense of sunlight for half the day and darkness for half the day.
Hi, I'm Blanc and I'm in 7th grade. What does it feel to be with no gravity? Over.
My first impression when I arrived to the space station, it felt, or when on our spacecraft, when we got to into microgravity, I felt like a little bit like a helium balloon that constantly wanted to float up and away. It's a lot of fun. You can do neat flips, and you can have a lot of fun with your food floating in front of you.
Hi, my name's Josh and I'm in 3rd grade. Do you have free times with the other astronauts to play board games or other fun things in space? Over.
We do enjoy each other's company, and in fact, one of the board games up here that's very popular with my crewmates right now is Scrabble. Two of my crewmates enjoy playing Scrabble with each other. But sometimes we play music together. We have musical instruments up here. We have harmonica, some kazoos, we have guitar, and sometimes we play music together, or we play music off of our computers and just enjoy time together. We look out the window together, and one of our favorite things to do is to eat together, all 6 crew members, and share food from our different space agencies so we can try cuisine from all over the world right here in space.
Hi, I'm Joaquin, and I'm in 5th grade. Can you communicate with your family while you are in space? Over.
I sure can, and what's one of my favorite things to do is to communicate with my family, and I get to talk to them on the phone. I talk to my wife almost daily, and then I get a video chat conference, like a Skype or a FaceTime type of event with my family once a week on the weekends, and I get to see my kids. I have 4 kids that are all about your age. They range from 10th grade at the oldest, and my youngest is in 3rd grade, so they're all right around your age.
Which is scarier, takeoff or landing? Over.
That's a tougher one for me to answer. I've only gone through launch. I haven't had an opportunity to land yet. This is my first space mission. But I do know from talking to my astronaut friends that the landing in the Soyuz capsule is a lot more exciting than the launch.
What do you do if you get sick in space? Over.
Well, the first thing we do is we try to stay very healthy. We select very healthy astronauts, and we make sure that we're in top health when we get up here. If we did get sick, we could speak to our doctor. We're all assigned a doctor that we talk to once a week, and we have the capability to talk to them on the radio or talk to them on the phone or talk to them even in a video conference.
Okay, we've lost him over the horizon.
Thank you. Okay, well, this is John again, and it sounds like the ISS has disappeared over the horizon, and so even though he can't hear it, let's give Drew a big round of applause for his efforts in taking the time to talk with us today. So, ladies and gentlemen, at Golden Oaks Montessori, Eris has helped Drew Morgan on the International Space Station talk to you using the Eris amateur radio station K6DUE in Greenbelt, Maryland, operated by the K6DUE team and moderated by myself, John Clute, in Atlanta, Georgia. Please show your thanks to the K6DUE team for their hard work leading up to and including the things that went on today. On behalf of all the international volunteers of Eris, including the Radio Amateur Satellite Corporation around the world, the Amateur Radio Relay League, NASA, and the other sponsoring space agencies, this is John, Amateur Radio Operator K4SQC, sending my greetings to all of you in traditional amateur radio terms and signing off. 7-3's best wishes. Operator, you may stop recording.
Thank you so much, Mr. Clute. We very much appreciate your time and support. Well, that was truly amazing. I never thought in my life that I'd actually get to speak or listen to an astronaut in lifetime. So what an amazing thing for you all to experience. You might not even realize it yet, but it's truly memorable and one in a lifetime experience. So many people made this happen today. So we're going to take a minute to say thanks to all those people. First, I'd like to acknowledge the ASB reps for prepping and practicing and coming up with the questions and representing our school. There were many people on staff that helped support this too. Miss India worked tirelessly. Miss Kara and the ASB teacher leads. So Miss Janine, Miss Jessica, Mr. Ben. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd like to thank the Pine and Maple classrooms for all their space projects that they worked on and brought in and displayed. Thank you. Mr. Tyler and Mr. Farouk, our technology gurus who came in early and worked all weekend to help set this up. Miss Kim Gorski, who came in and did some training and some work with us. Mom of Ziva and Jackson and Luke. Mr. David Cross, dad of Caden, who came in to help support with us as well. Mr. Joe Lamberti, who came in to help support. Thank you. We also have a special guest, Mr. Jim Siemens from the ARRL. He's the section manager, and he came out today to be a part of this. Thank you. And then I'd like to thank Mr. Bob Kopke and his wife, Jan. They drove all the way from North Carolina to be with us today. Come on out, Bob. Come on out. We have a special gift for them. Thank you so much. We so appreciate it. Oh, it's so amazing. We'd like to... So they're driving back all the way over to the East Coast, but they came to the Acorn Festival last year. They came for a visit this year and have been really helpful in making this happen. So thank you so much. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Mr. Alessio Sangali, the dad of Leo and Mateo, who's been working on this for months and months and months and months. Thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you. We so appreciate it. All right, one last round of applause for everyone for their work today. Thank you. All right, fabulous audience members. Thank you. So just a quick announcement. So the third grade students will be heading to the Apollo room at 9:30. I'll meet them in there, maybe 9:25 for a special presentation. We're going to dismiss. Oh, thank you for being amazing audience members. Y'all are constantly surprising me with your grace. I will excuse classes one by one to head back into your spaces. Have a fabulous Monday. Middle school, why don't you head on out?